Welcome to the Necklace 11 Extra of Technology. Today I'd like to show you my personal rig. This is the personal rig update number 1. I've got some requests to do a video like that, and there you go. I call my system Nightcrawler version 1.1. Some of you may know that the name comes directly from a great song, and I thought, hey, this would be a cool name for a system. Now you maybe are wondering, why is it version 1.1? Why not 1.0? Well, it was 1.0 before, but I had to get a sound card and that changed the version number. Alright, here it is. As you can see, I have all of the components installed in the Cooler Master CM Storm Scout case. Yes, that's a fairly old mid-tower case already, but I think it looks pretty good, especially with that side panel window. Oh, and the red fan here is a 120mm from Antec, and this didn't come with a case. I bought it separately to get some extra air in the graphics card area. Now here's the system with the side panel removed. I'll just zoom in so you can see the components better. As you can see, I tried really hard to keep things as tidy as possible, but that wasn't very easy. Some of you maybe also own that case, and I have to say it's definitely not the greatest case for cable management. As for the case fans, I didn't replace any of them. I only bought an extra fan for the side panel, and that's it. Here's the standard Cooler Master 120mm red LED fan on the rear for exhaust. And that's a very important fan in my system, as it pulls most of the air out that's coming through the V6 GT CPU cooler. And I don't know if you can see that through the camera, but this case also comes with a standard black 140mm fan on the top. The last fan would be in the front. It pulls air in, cools the hard drives, and the rear and top fans exhaust that warm air. But now to the installed components. I'll start on this side with the storage. Up here I have the Corsair Force 3 120GB SSD where my operating system is installed. Then down here is a Western Digital Caviar Black 1TB HDD for programs and data. This drive gets a little hot when there's no air moving around, so I placed it in the best position in terms of cooling. Underneath is another HDD, which would be the Western Digital Caviar Green 500GB. I have data on there too, but mostly video files. To power up all the components, I have the Corsair TX 850 V2 power supply, which is more than enough for my system. For optimal audio playback and recording, I have the ASUS Xonar DX 7.1 PCI Express sound card installed, and it's a great card and I really like it. This is the PowerColor HD 7850 2GB DDR5 graphics card, and it looks wonderful, although it doesn't match the color scheme at all in my case, but I don't really care. The fan also isn't loud at all, and the plastic is really reflective, as you can see. For the CPU cooler, I went with the Cooler Master V6 GT aftermarket cooler. Underneath is the Intel Core i7-3770K CPU on stock speeds. I didn't overclock, although I could with that cooler. If you know the V6 GT, you can change the LED color here by pressing that button up there. I have it on blue because I have an Intel CPU installed. Back then when I had an AMD CPU, I set it to red. I could choose from pink, nothing, red, or blue. For the memory, I went with the ADATA XPG G Series version 2.0 8GB DDR3-2000 CL9 kit. It's really fast, and I'm really satisfied with these, and they look great too. Oh, and before I forget, all of these components are installed on the MSI Z77A-GT65 motherboard, which I have to admit is the best motherboard I've ever had so far. It looks great, although you can't see that now because the V6 GT covers up all the heatsinks and so on. So yeah, this is my system. I'm working on my videos with that one. I tried the best for cable management, but of course it doesn't look 100% tidy. The case is a little too small and doesn't really support cable management in general. These are some expansions like eSATA, USB 2.0 and 3.0 and that stuff, nothing too fancy here. I don't know if you can see that, but I routed the ATX 12V 8-pin power connector under the GPU, and that way it looks cleaner. Normally I would have to route it through the back, but the cable is too short. I didn't want to buy extension cables, and then I wouldn't be able to do it because there's not enough space on the top left hand corner for the connector to come through the hole. On the other side you see my messy cable management. Yes, I know, it's pretty bad, but I really tried my best, and that wasn't easy with that case because afterwards the side panel didn't close properly anymore. I tied some cables onto the case just to keep them in place because of that reason. Here's the front of my case. As for the DVD drive, I went with a standard light-on drive, and before I had the Samsung drive, but this one looks a lot better for my taste if that matters. Alright, here's the power button and the tiny reset button. Here are the standard connections like USB, headphones, and so on. This button turns the LEDs on and off, but that only works for the case fans that came with this case. The CM Storm Scout also comes with a carrying handle, and that can be useful. This is how the system looks on the back, and there are a lot of ports available to plug in, especially USB, even if I don't need that many. So yeah, this is Nightcrawler version 1.1. What do you think of my system? Do you like the components and how's the cable management? Please let me know. I always like hearing other people's opinions on my builds. What would you upgrade or change in my case? What would you expect to see in the Nightcrawler version 2.1 build? Please let me know what you think. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe.